Okay, so we're going to do a follow along mobility routine. So the first thing I recommend is to get a roller and then grab also a golf ball, or you can also have something like this, like something to roll out. What I would do before you start this routine, so you can pause this video, roll out your whole body, all the muscles. You can also use I have a Theragun over there. You can also use a Theragun to loosen everything up, focus on any tight areas that you notice. That's going to kind of help you in general warm up, but also going to get you prepared. Then with this thing, really all you have to do, you can just stand on it. I'm not going to stand, but roll out your feet for about 30 seconds each. The spiky balls are really good to release a lot of tension. So do that on both feet, and then we will go through the whole routine. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to have this going so you guys can actually see the time, and it'll keep me on track too. So I'm going to make sure that the volume is on here. All right. So 30 seconds, starting with the big toe stretch. So you just want to play around. We're going to do 2 sets of this one. So we'll do about a minute total. And you guys are going to have 10 seconds. So here we go. You want to just focus on slowing your breath down. Good. And then you can readjust here, so you can kind of come up, then come back down into position. And again, just get that stretch in the bottom of your feet. You want to really feel that bottom of your foot stretch. And just notice if there's any imbalance. And just try to focus on relaxing the bottoms of the feet. You can rotate. If you want to do any of these stretches for longer, just pause the video at any time. If not, you can just keep rolling along with the timer. Okay, so that is 2 sets of that. So now what we're going to do is a calf stretch. You can do multiple options. I'm going to do off the wall, so you guys can see me here. So get a wall or whatever you guys need. And you simply want to focus on extending the knee, straightening the leg, and breathing in and feeling that relaxation. Make sure to pause if you want to go for longer. And switch over. And just remember, you guys can easily pause at any time. And you guys have 10 seconds between each stretch to get to the next one. So the next one we're going to do is a calf stretch with our knee bent. I'll just focus on holding this. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Yep. So now what you're going to do is focus on doing it with the knee bent. So bending down. And you want to really make sure you're getting that, feeling that in your Achilles. And you can rotate your knee. And you really just want to put emphasis on getting that full ankle flexion and creating that shin angle, which is great for skating, because you want to be able to create that shin angle on demand and be able to get into this position. So you can even try this one as well. So switching back. So here, and then you can always go back down to here and play around with this movement. All right, back here. Let's focus on relaxing the breath. Just noticing I have quite a lot of tension in this Achilles. So it's good that I'm finding that area and working on it here. Good. So now we'll go into the seated ankle pulses. So this one's going to do a little bit more of that bent knee and creating that shin angle. So here, so you can pick one leg and just do for 30 seconds here. And you want to kind of focus on pushing that knee out. And really feel it. Notice how you can roll your ankle in different ways here. This is working on internally kind of rotating that ankle, and then we're going to work on like kind of externally rotating it next. And I'll switch to this side. You want to kind of focus on, notice how when you create the more shin angle, you can feel a different stretch. Just put your ankle through that range of motion. That's the most important thing you can do here. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. This one I'll angle it up a little bit so you guys can't see my face, but we're going to focus on rolling, really focusing on rolling that outside ankle and just creating that stretch. So holding for 5 seconds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll stay with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And think about this on the ice. 2, 3, 4, 5. How being able to roll your ankles and be strong out here, preventing those ankle sprains. Super, super important. And really focus on getting that good roll, but not pushing it too hard. Switching over again last time, I think. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So now we're going to go into lean backs on the feet. Alright, so this one, we're going to go here and focus on simply just leaning back and getting that stretch in your thighs and in the tops of your feet. So you want to come off the ground here. Make sure you can see me. And making sure you're popping off the ground. And what this is going to do is just stretch the tibialis. Again, just more ankle stability. I just think stretching your ankles daily is so important. That's why it's such a good routine to just do on a daily basis. Alright. Now the next one we want to do, so you can take 30 seconds off. Just give your ankles a bit of a rest here. So the next one, you want to get something set up here. If you have wedges, wedges are great. If you don't have wedges, you can just use something like this. I do have wedges over here, which I'll pop out and use. We're just going to do Jefferson curls. So, putting your feet up on the blocks, rolling all the way down, getting the stretch in your calves and in your back, and just holding. And what I've always found is if you can use weights, so you can use these if you want, if you have them on you, whatever it is, but just creating that stretch. And then coming back up, creating that stretch. Coming back up, and we'll do another 30 seconds of this. This one I love for my lower back and my entire back. You also feel it in your calves too. back up. You can do these at your own pace. Just feeling your spine roll, feeling everything in your back stretch, and if you can do these on an elevated surface, even better. You can really get a full stretch in. So we'll get these out of the way now. Next one we'll go into is the 90-90s, and we'll go around the world to get yourself into 90-90. And you're going to just start here. Full rotation. Stretching here. We'll try to keep these relatively quick, right? So you may not get through this entire movement. But I think we're going to go for an extra minute here. Or an extra 30 seconds here. So just keep rolling through this. Just stay with this side. You want to get a full good minute on this one because it stretches a lot of stuff. And you're also probably feel this hip might start to get tight. So that's what I'm noticing. That's always an interesting feeling. Just paying attention to reaching to each area. Just feeling where you have that tightness. I just can't get that flexion properly in that hip right now. And just rolling all the way through. And then feeling it in your glute too when you do that stretch and pull across. Let's pop to the other side now. We'll do 90 the other way. We'll start across. You might feel your back stretch and pop here if you get it. If it's tight. And then we'll move through. Pull through. My hips are super like getting cramping up on me right now. But the key is when you're in this position is being able to create that stretch. So reaching back, reaching all through. To keep going here. Another 30 seconds. I'm not going to focus on this, but making sure that you get that full stretch all the way around. You can notice how different areas, different ways of twisting your body. I always say, like, don't get in a groove, but stretch in different areas. It's very important because you might get groin stretch, but you might notice all different areas get a stretch. Good. For the next one, we're going to go into seated butterflies. So you definitely want to have a weight for this and something you can sit against. So you get a wall, and we're going to do this for extra time, so don't feel too rushed. Probably do this for quite a bit. So make sure you have a good wall. This seat is actually not ideal, but the key is you're going to come down, hold for 5 to 10, come back up. What you can also do if you don't have these is create that pressure by actually pressing down like hard into your groin, and the goal is to actually get your knees to the ground. And you'll find when you get that proper position how you can actually create that stretch in your hips and your groin. You can press it all the way down. We'll go for another 20 seconds here. And you can come back up. The next one is going to be the couch stretch, one of my favorite stretches. So make sure you get to the wall for this next one. So pop over the wall. Knee here, thigh, stretch as you can, starting here, bringing your glute forward, so pushing your hip forward lightly, and notice where the tightness is. And then if you can pop up, but you may not get the full stretch when you do that, so feel free to just work on pushing the hip through here. Now we'll switch over to the other side. Feel free to pause it and stay a little longer on that side if you want to stay a little longer. So the next one we're going to go into is the ATG split squat. So this builds right off of this. So now we're going to go here, get into a squat or a lunge position. And we're going to lunge down. And make sure what you want to do is you can pulse your knee up here. But the key is getting that hip stretch and making sure that you can try to sit your butt and your hamstring down on your calf and then straighten your body up. You may want to use this to kind of get that position, and you can always pop out of it. I'll switch sides. The key is not worrying too much about your heel. It doesn't have to be on the ground, but the key is getting this back knee off the ground. And this is kind of hits everything more or less that we've been hitting so far. So for this next one, I'm going to do shoulder rotators. So you want to get a bench set up like this. And then you want to be able to actually create that stretch here. So dumbbell's best, but if you don't have a dumbbell, you can always do these. What you can also do, I'm actually not going to do it like that, but you can stretch here and you can resist your own hand. And the key is just getting that full stretch at the bottom, coming back up, creating that full stretch at the bottom, coming back up, and then we'll switch to the other side. And don't worry, we'll do some other shoulder stuff as well. So coming down, feeling that stretch, coming down, feeling that stretch at the bottom. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. All the way down. All the way down. One of my favorite shoulder movements. Good. Next one we'll do is we're going to go into shoulder rotators on the ground. So this one, coming down here and simply rotating here and then coming all the way across, down and across. Sorry for all the noise if you guys can hear it. Coming across. Feel free to pause at any point. Rotate to the other side. Again, shoulder health is just so important, and I feel like it gets neglected so often with so many programs. This is bringing yourself through this range, and you can move around in it if you want. So don't get attached to having to do things perfectly. Coming across. The closer you keep your shoulder, the more stretch you can get in this motion. You definitely want to have very mobile shoulders if you want to be avoiding injury. Alright, so those are shoulder rotators. Now you want to do pullovers. So here, the key is getting your bench set up here. Looks like this. Getting a weight of some kind. Doesn't have to be too much. and then stretching out and coming back. I like to put closer to my shoulders on the bench. Start very light with this. You may even not even need weight. Let's do a minute of these just to get that full stretch. You can also bring this in here to get a little bit of tricep stretch here. And coming up. It's also, if you drop your butt here, you also create a lot better stretch. So if you start here, and then stretch, and you'll get a good stretch in your back. Really help to straighten your back out. So be careful you don't overdo that one over time. So the next one we're going to do is trap 3 raises. Real simple. Bench lifts up, or you can do it flat on the ground. Real simple. Try to be quiet as I can. And just simply raising up. And you can also do more of a shoulder circle if you want to. And this is going to be great because what it does is it just warms up your entire shoulder. Muscles, really everything in your whole shoulder. Alright, so you can do that same movement on the ground as well. Now we're going to go into the Powell raises. So these ones are for the side here, so I'll show you from this angle. The key with these is creating a good stretch and then coming up. Good stretch and then coming up, and you can always do these weighted. Stretch and then coming up all the way down, stretching and coming up. Stretching and coming up. And then rotating sides. Same thing. Creating that stretch and then coming up. Remember, you can always do these on the ground too. And just reaching your arm underneath. But if you have any elevated surface, it's great because you just want to get that stretch in your mid back. And then tightening up. Alright. The next one we're going to do is band pull aparts. We've already really hit the rear back or the rear delts and the rhomboids quite a bit. But if you have a band of any kind, this is the time to grab that out. You can find it. I seem to not have any of my bands available right now, so let me grab them quick. But being able to pull them apart, this is actually the band I want. You can do them lower. I'll do them lower so you guys can see them. But here, so I just do a few of these. Doesn't need to be a lot. Once you're good, then we can do the dislocators. Good. And the last one we're going to do, or last couple we're going to do, let's do the shoulder dislocates. Then we're going to do the straight arm band stretch. So here, the key is get these closer together. And you want to do this and really create that stretch here. This is going to stretch your tris and your rear delts a lot. You can also always, like I said, play around with the movement here. Same thing here.
This always, what you're going to notice is it also stretches things like your lats, your tris, and a bunch of different other areas. I'm really sweating right now. And the last one is straight arm stretch. And what you can also do is play around with it into different areas. You can always bring it back to here and create that chest stretch. That's where the dislocates come in. And we're going to finish off with some bonus wrist work. So, just real simple. You come down to here. And we're going to start by bringing our wrists into this position here. So having them face forward. You're just going to rock into it. I think I may even add a little chest stretch in here too. So now you can rotate them here and just play around with this movement a little bit. You can always spin, put your body in different positions. The key with this one is not going too hard, but just making sure that your wrists are maintaining that flexibility. And you can see I'm rotating my elbows. Is also key. Because you want to have strong wrists so you can also kind of bring them through. You can stretch out the fingers as well. Don't do the same thing every single stretch. Always mess around a little bit with the movement. There we go. Now you're going to do the outside, so I want you to make a fist on these. So facing forward here, and a rock back. You can even do these and bring it up into a fist and kind of punch down and then come back. Really like this stretch. It's something I don't do enough of. And now I'll rotate this way. You might notice like I actually have quite a limitation here. And then you want to kind of rotate. You can bring them out to the sides. Just be careful you don't overdo these for the first day. If you've done these for a while, then you'll be good to go. Hope you guys are enjoying all the music outside of all the random people driving by. So we're going to finish off with a good chest stretch here for the last one. This will be kind of a spine and chest stretch. So last one, which you guys have probably done before. So I want you guys to straighten out your body here. Hopefully you guys can see me here. And then you're just going to rotate and create that stretch in your chest. And you can obviously twist your arm a little bit. Find where it stretches, bringing it up. If you rotate and put the V, you put your thumb into the ground, turn it into more of a bicep stretch. So let's play around with that a little bit. We'll hold this for an extra little bit here. You guys like the music? This is what downtown Philly is like. And you can also play around with moving that right foot all the way across. But again, you're just going to notice that there's different points of limitation and imbalances, and always looking for those imbalances every session. So if you're following this for multiple days now, just pay attention to what imbalances you have. And again, always remember to focus on your breathing. So we'll switch it up. I'm going to come across here. Very, very loud. Very, very loud music. But again, you can always shift your shoulder up, create a different angle. And then what you can also do, you can see my hand here, you can rotate it that way and get more of a bicep stretch. And remember, I actually kind of messed this up, because you want to go here and bring that leg across, and you can play around with it. I always find if I do this, it helps the most. And we'll finish off with a little bit more here. Remember to keep moving that arm around and finding those different spots that need that stretch. And then what we'll do to finish off, so we're just going to do 30 seconds, or we'll do about a minute of just calm breathing. And this will help us to relax. So we'll go in a corpse pose to finish off, which is really just laying down on your back. It's not really that special. Good. And you can obviously turn your hand to face your palm up too. It always gives a different stretch, more in your shoulder. Alright, so we'll finish off with some breathing. We'll do some belly breathing here. So, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just focusing on chest stays in the same place, stomach rises. So you want to inhale, let's say for 3 to 5 seconds, exhale for 6 to 10. So always think breathing in for 1 second, exhaling for 2. And feel free to keep doing this for a little while after if you guys would like. It's being aware of your breath, just noticing it, letting your body completely relax. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I'll see you back again tomorrow if you're doing this daily, and I'll see you soon if you're doing it on a more weekly basis. All right.